Black, what's up, baby? Hey, man, say, man. Hey, man. That's what we here for. Man, this thing right here, man, it's being it's been blowing up. Hold on. Let me go over here and activate this, toggle this on. Hey, but that's what we're gonna discuss, brother Black, man. I appreciate you watching the interview. Let me send a shout out to that platform. Hold on. Let me just get the platform name. Hold on a minute. The platform name is Johnny Robinson. What's the deal, man? All right, the platform name is Wild Moguls TV. Major shout out to Wild Moguls TV. Excellent interview. You got us talking. You got us tuned in. Please keep the excellent content coming, man. We're tuned in. We loving it. Shout out to all the people over there who support, who operate, who run, who's a part of Wild Mogul TV. There were some things said in an interview that Black is talking about. Brother Black said that new Bogart interview discussion was interesting. Yes, it was. And it has my phone ringing like a hotline. We're gonna get into that. But before we get into that, man, I just want to highlight this. I want to send love. I want to send compassion. First of all praise be to the Most High God. I want to send love and compassion in a certain level of understanding to Krishan Rock. A lot of people have been making disparaging remarks and statements about her, but we have to understand the mind state of this young lady. We got to start giving each other a little bit more sympathy and understanding. What you talking about, Bobby A? Let's get into the content, man. Let me show this to y'all. We all seen her on that live with Blueface, her presumed child's father. But this is what has a lot of people talking. This right here. Let's get into this. And please watch it with an open mind. And shout out to this
And
little
he is
brother.
fresh out that she might go back to him.
Negative. You feel me? I don't feel no way if she did go. I really don't give it because I got my whole life going on. You feel
That's
me?
right.
Not like that. I met her not too long ago, so it wouldn't phase me or bother me. You feel me? I'm still the same. Still been on my same program. No female can switch my shit up.
That's right, bro.
Most
And I
definitely.
don't care about no fame shit. That's the thing. You feel me? A lot of niggas gonna chase it. I'm not chasing it. I ain't want this shit. You feel me? I ain't wanting to be famous. I ain't not even famous, nigga. I'm still 3 on the dead homie. I care about that shit though. And ask her about it on the red homies.
All right, so now we finna elaborate back on where people saying, well, I'm gonna be direct. Hood Trophy Bino. He basically like, man, Krishan don't be taking care of her kid like that. He be drinking milk all day.
Mm.
Do you want to elaborate on that statement? Because you know you do be around her. You feel me? You close to her. Is that statement true or is that statement false? How you feel about that?
Let me see if I can pause this. Number one, that's messy. That's messy on DC baby Draco's behalf for asking that type of question, right? That can paint this young sister in the light of being an unfit mother. Now, if this brother was able to confirm what the other brother said, then DCFS can come and get involved and try to take that young baby from that young sister. We don't need DCFS coming in our business and our households no more. That's why we need to come together as a community and figure this stuff out. It takes a village to raise a child. So us as a village, let's wrap our hands, let's wrap our arms around Krishan Rock and that baby and lift them both up in prayers. And if it's anything that we can do as a community, we got to do our part. But coming on here and making these bold accusations and allegations against the sister, saying she's an unfit mother, all she do is feed the little dude milk, so on and so forth. And it's already been rumors that the little brother may be. I don't want to say the wrong thing. So I guess the technical and the appropriate word to use would be challenged. developmentally challenged. You feel what I'm saying? And whenever you have a developmentally challenged child, there's a certain level of care, understanding, compassion, and service that goes into that child. A lot of people who have children that have some type of mental development, they want you to take classes so that you don't get overburdened, so that you don't get overstimulated, and so that you don't get, overworked and trying to take care of the needs of this child. So as black men, there's certain things that we should come online and say, especially as it pertains to black women. If you feel like that sister was an unfit mother and you wasn't able to come and have an intellectual or a motivating conversation with her to get her to see the errors in her ways and build up off that, then you need to get away from it. Don't come on here and make these disparaging remarks and try to belittle and degrade the sister, you feel what I'm saying, in the eyes of the public. Because at the end of the day, that's still a black child and that's still a black woman. Us as black men, we have to learn how to lead and stop being led by our emotions. You feel what I'm saying? But let's get back into this content, man. And like I say, check this out with an open mind, man, and let's wrap the sister up in prayers, man.
That little situation, because it do look like, you know what I'm saying, like he mad in a way.
Yeah, that shit crazy. You feel me?
But this is the thing, DC baby Draco, you being messy now. If Blueface is mad with the affairs of his son's mother, if Blueface does take offense to some of the things that she was doing on and off of the internet, that's not a topic of discussion, really, like, you know what I mean? Especially with the dude that she's all on live kissing and caressing and all this and all that. Why would you go to him? Now you acting like no jumper. Now you acting like Adam 22. You supposed to be from the Bay, man. You know what I mean? In the Bay, man, they keep it to that, you know what I mean? They keep it to the ism. That's not ism, big dog. You being messy like Adam 22 and a whole lot of these females. Like, why would you go to this dude and bring up this topic to this dude? And this is the dude that she was unfaithful with on Blueface, one of the dudes. Why would you go ask him that? But let's see how skillfully and polished the young dude is. Let's see how he skillfully answered the question and how polished the little dude is, man.
And then another thing, I just want y'all, there's no smoke between this and nigga. I don't got nothing bad about her to say, you feel me? But one thing he did do, he brought me up, and I don't even know this mistake of hate. And another thing he said, put your feet in her mouth, little bro BT. I don't even tolerate that freaky zesty shit. And then he was on live with the same that I was eating y'all nigga on the Rare Homies. I don't play them games. And ain't no sucking my toes. It's freaky. But I don't got, like, other than that, ain't no smoke. I don't know, bro. You don't know me. I don't got shit bad to say about him, but keep my name out his mouth. You feel me?
Hey, man, I don't know if y'all peep it, like, but on my behalf, me being a well-seasoned individual from the streets, I feel like that was some sucker stuff that DC baby Draco did. Like, why bring this dude up to this dude? Like, and you already know it may be some hard feelings or some ill will there because they both banging the same female. Like, you feel what I'm saying? I don't care what nobody say. When it's PUSSY involved in love, passion, and all this and all that, it's going to be some adverse feelings there, whether a person chooses to admit it, but sometimes they ain't got to admit it. You can catch it in a verb. You can catch it in a conversation. You can catch it in their actions. So when it comes to PUSSY and two dudes who are sharing or tagging the same female, it's certain things that shouldn't be talked about or brought up online because it can create a bigger situation and a bigger problem. Had you not said what you said and brought this dude up to this dude, then he would have said the freaky zesty stuff and keep my name out your mouth. Even that little bit right there can be stretched. It can be stretched and presented or represented to the internet, repackaged, rebranded to the internet as if he's disrespecting that dude, man. Come on, man. We got to be a little bit more seasoned than that, especially my player partner from the Bay, man. If you're from the Bay, then you already know how this shit go. You already know how some of these dudes be tended DICKs over females and all that. Come on, man. You want ism. Stop playing. Don't come down to Los Angeles, dog, and see that it's a lot of dudes that's not on ism like a lot of our kinfolks is on the Bay and feel like you can be messy or you can do things down here that you typically wouldn't do in the Bay where a lot of dudes is on the ism. Like, come on, man. Continue to be the individual that you are. And if you are this type of messy, agent provocateur type of dude, man, it's only a matter of time before your number is called, big dog. But let's get back into the content.
Most definitely. Now look, I ain't gonna lie.
Oh shit, hold up. Stop. Let's hurt.
Recording right now.
Park. Okay, that's that though. We ain't got nothing to say about it. Now we just served them. You feel me? Oh, bro.
Yeah, so look, they think y'all broke up.
That goofy shit, oh God.
They think y'all broke up.
No,
You gotta let the internet do what the internet do. You feel me? Oh, bro, we ain't really got shit to say about it. Me personally, I'm not responding to it.
Yeah, easy.
No,
You got to. You fly, you cute.
Not just regular. But you know, listen, Jay. We know why y'all mad though. But you know.
But really,
so next
you're mad for no reason.
I need to go get this food, bro.
This is crazy. Princess Tati says she needs to keep her flip-flopping ASS in Baltimore. Out here playing like this SHIT is a game. Shaking my head. It is not a game, but we got to kind of understand and know that the little sister ain't playing with a full deck. We got to understand the trauma, the severe actual, put an S in front of it, and mental trauma that she endured as a kid has slowed down her developmental development, excuse me, not developmental, has slowed down, tremendously slowed down her mental development. So she may be 20 something, but she got the mind of a female that's 15 and 16 years old, and all this is exhilarating to her. Oh, I'm cool with the Crips. I can come over and hang with the Crips. Then I'm over here pushing blood, throwing up blood and all that. It may be cool. It may be hip for you. It may be exhilarating. It may give you an adrenaline rush. But you got to understand the severity and the gravity of your actions. Even the little brother that's in this relationship with her, being that she's playing with Crippin' and blood, and that's something that a lot of people hold to heart. You may catch some strays, or you may find yourself in a position to where you're confronted on some aggressive type SHIT because of the games that she's playing. Krishan Rock, please leave the streets alone, Queen. A lot of women venture out into these streets, whether it's at, events, whether it's in concert with certain people, whether it's, guilty by affiliation, associating with these type of dudes in what they call the wrong place at the right time, or at the right time at the wrong place, whatever they call it, right time, wrong place. And you get noodle. It's real like that in Los Angeles. If you don't believe me, then cut it on. Cut on the TV. Do some Googling. Females get unalived out here as well. It's no real policies that say, oh, you can't touch a female that's active, or you can't touch a female that's playing both sides against the middle. So what I would say, Queen, is focus on solidifying your career. Focus on raising that baby, because that baby gonna need you. If you get lost in these streets and somebody touch you or do something to you, or you just so happen to be in concert with some dudes and some dudes come through, blocker, and you get hit, and let's just say you don't pass away. Let's just say you get paralyzed. That's going to interfere with your ability to provide quality and regular service to that baby. Think about your baby, Queen. I'm not calling you a bitch. I ain't disrespecting you or none of that. I'm just saying, Queen. Queen. Consider your actions, because out here it's not like what gangbanging is in Baltimore. Some of us take this Crippin' and blood thing more serious than we do religion. That's why you got so many Muslims that's in a set, man, that's on Crip. That's why you got so many Christians in a set, man, that's on Bloods. Not saying that all Crips is Muslims, but you get what I'm saying. Like, I'm just giving an analogy. You got dudes in these streets that's pushing Crip, Blood, PJ, Gray Street, Bunny on the 60, A-Tray, BPS, schoolyard, like it's our religion. Because all we know is the set. In these streets, dudes can operate independent of a religion, but a lot of these dudes can't operate independent of the set. That's why you got certain dudes that go to the pen and they tap out, but they come home and it's still Crip, blood. Or Crip and blood is still in their vocabulary, because without the set, a lot of these dudes ain't SHIT. And I don't mean no disrespect. I'm calling a baller, strike. You got dudes that's Crips and Bloods, Suranios and all that, right? I don't want to just make it seem like I'm highlighting faults in Crips and Bloods, but she's playing with Crips and Bloods, so that's why I'm making them the focal point, right? You got a lot of dudes that go to jail, and for whatever reason they become Christians. They walk around with a Bible, or a lot of dudes join Islam. They walk around with a Quran, so on and so forth. But when they come back to the streets, it's back to what's up, cuz? What's bracking, blood? A lot of dudes put this Crip and Blood shit before religion, because this Crip and Blood shit, even though it's a subculture, this shit is a religion for a lot of us. So you can't come out here and disrespect and play with niggas' religion, because even people that's not from schoolyard, that's Crippin', they feel like, oh, she playing with the, and some Bloods like, hold on, baby was just, man, that's on a B. You can't do that, queen. Everybody's not going to be understanding. Everybody isn't going to be as empathetic as Bobby Ye. You understand what I'm saying? I know you have a mental disability. I know that. Look at all the trauma you endured. And a lot of people are talking about this sister's baby. We don't talk about children. But if you is going to address the situation of the baby, how we know that Krishan Rock isn't a byproduct of an incestuous relationship? How we know her cousin, her uncle, somebody that got the same bloodline, how we know that that's not her father? And whatever is the deformity, how we know it's not manifesting in the baby? Because it's in it, and the blood ain't properly mixing. So we see that she's slightly delayed, but she's functional with it. But when we look at that precious child, you can see that that precious child has some challenges. So if she may potentially be the byproduct of an incestuous relationship, think about what her mentality and her mind state gonna be. That of a child. Then you couple in, then you factor in the actual, put an S in front of assault. She mentally effed up, and all she want to do is just be accepted. All she want to do is just be loved, and all she want to do is just be understood. So today the Bloods may be putting it on. They may be bracking. They may have a party. They may be out there hanging and looking like a family. She like, man, I always wanted to belong to a family. That feels like family to her. She may come around the Crips and see the, similar components, similar things, and feel like, man, like I always wanted to feel this. Being that she's not from this, she don't really know how to distinguish between the two, because she don't view this Crip and Blood shit the way that we do out here in California, specifically Los Angeles County. You understand what I'm saying? So the sister should get a certain level of understanding and compassion. Let's just not instantly castigate her. Let's at least try to, get her to see the error in her ways. But without further ado, man, we're going to jump into this video. Shout out to Wild Moguls TV. We got to do this, man. I've been getting a lot of calls. Man, did the PJ start Hood Day? Did the Great Streets do it? Was it the Watts Cast? Did this? We thought it was, we don't want to create any convoluted, any confusing narratives. We're not going to do that. So what we're going to do is we're going to dispel that right now. So I'm going to show you the video that my big homie did. And this isn't to undermine, disrespect, or challenge what my big homie is saying. That's not what this is. This is for me, being a representative of Watts, to come on here and dispel any convoluted narratives that may hit the internet and have people thinking like, what the? Let's get into it, man. How y'all feeling out there, man? I pray that the Most High God is blessing y'all in abundance. An abundance of blessing. You feel me? All right, so here go the video right here. Wait, is this the one? Let me play this one. I mean, we know that the Hoovers and the East Coasters have both been credited as having the first Hood Days. I believe the East Coasters may did their first Hood Day in 1987. Gumby, if I'm not mistaken, don't quote me on this. I believe Gumby said that the Hoovers did their first Hood Day either July the 4th, 1986 or July the 4th, 1985. But let's get into it. His narrative and him saying that, Hood Days and all that come from the Hoovers.
Gang world, gang culture wouldn't be nothing without the Hoovers, because we pretty much put the Crippin' in Crip.
I disagree with that. The gang world is still going to be the gang world without the Hoovers, without the Crips, without the Bloods. There's always going to be gangs. For anybody that knows the history of gangs, if you go back to 1776 in New York, it was gangs out there. Some of the first black gangs, some of the first black organizations that was kind of fashioned after the mafia existed in Chicago. So before we was cripping in blood and doing what we was what we was out here doing with our gangs and all this, it was already black gangs on the East Coast. It was already black gangs in the Midwest. So to say that the Hoovers is the major or the biggest contributors to this LA County or to this gang banging subculture, I don't agree with it, but I'm gonna let the brother say what he gonna say. Whether you got Hoovers, whether you got Crips, Bloods, PJs, Gray Streets, Bonnie Hunters, gang banging is still gonna be gang banging, big dog.
Gang shit. All the set days that came from us. You know what I mean? Like, we can just keep going on and on and on, but we're not here for that. We're here for me. I'm gonna be the Hoover up. Gang war.
Let's go to the next one right here. OG Bear, 89th Street, East Coast Crip, who is credited and arguably the founder of Hood Days. Check him out.
Innings of Hood Days.
Hood Days.
Because this is a 80s thing, right?
Yeah.
A late 80s thing.
Yeah.
Because there were no Hood Days in the 70s.
No, it was like 87. We did the first one. 87, then 88 is when it really took off. So 87 was the first pool party. And then I just realized, like, fuck it, we're going to do one next year. But in that go around, everybody else started doing it that was familiar with it. And it just grew. It grew. Next thing I knew, everybody was doing Hood Days. And for me, I flipped Hood Days. I took it and I said, fuck it. I'm going to start throwing these parties and make this money. So for like about 22 years, I made money off of parties. And my following became almost like 800 people. And I could rent any building, any place, and pack it. And we didn't have.
So now we got a date of when the Hood Days started. So what we gonna do? We gonna mosey on over here. We gonna check out this interview with the big homie, Big Bogart, and we're gonna hear what he got to say about Hood Days, and we're gonna have a conversation about it. Shout out to Wild Moguls. Shout out to Wild Moguls. Y'all make sure y'all tap in and go watch the interview.
People say that you were the co-founder of the Crips, and you obviously got a lot of stories. Can you tell us why they say you're the co-founder of the Crips, and like what's the instrumental part of your connection to the story with Tukey and Raymond Washington?
Well, when I was growing up, Raymond Washington was like my big homeboy. I used to go up to Fremont High. Back then, it wasn't so much.
Now what we gonna do is we gonna correct something. The big homie may arguably be amongst the first. OG Bam, watch the deal, man. Much love and respect. Hey, shout out to OG Bam, the OG perspective, man. If y'all haven't done so far, make sure y'all go check out that fire content that the OG got, man. Me and the OG is kind of similar, man, in our fight for peace in our community. We don't conform with the ways of what's current, what's trending, what's in style now. You feel what I'm saying? We keep it original, we keep it uncut, we keep it unfiltered, and we're about the advancement of our people. You feel what I'm saying? I believe, like myself, the big homie don't work in conjunction with no organization that works with the LAPD, the Los Angeles County Sheriff, the FBI, none of that. You feel what I'm saying? This is a very authentic brother, and if you haven't done so far, please go check out that content. I want to correct this. The big homie is not the founder of Crip. No. The big homie is arguably amongst the first generation of Crips. So I just wanted to put that out. But let's get back into the content, and I'm gonna go to the part that a lot of people been hitting me about.
It's like I don't even know why I'm still here. Yeah, then I had 2 lives in this. They turned around like they treated me a lot better than I treated them. You got to go out.
Yeah.
I mean, they already knew it.
Hold on, this ain't the one. Let's get to the correct one. Or is this the one? Hold on. Give me a minute. Okay. I see which one it is. Hold on. Shout out to Wild Moguls TV, man. Here we go, right here. Wait, that ain't the one. Here we go, right here.
Feeling overwhelmed at work? Get ready to get ahead with AI. Grammarly is the AI writing tool I trust to get.
I want to go back. Can you explain Watts?
He's like, but after everybody started Bogart, Elementary out of Jordan, Time Mud out of niggas and guard, and then was Gunners. No, Gunner. Now, every hood in America now got a hood day.
Here we go.
It all started in Watts. They right. Them the 3 that started the hood days. Every hood. Alright, so Tony signed off. Elementary, all these gunners over there. Time Mud out of niggas and guard.
In all fairness, what they talking about now is the peace treaty. A lot of you know that I expressed that there would not have been a peace treaty without the infamous Tony Bogart. Bottom line. But we have to give credit where credit is due. There would not have been a peace treaty also without Dwayne Sniper Holmes. We got to give credit where credit is due all the way around the board. It was Dwayne Sniper Holmes with the big homie Red Rooster, rest in peace, the big homie Serpo, rest in peace, that went up there and had the first conversations with cats from the Jordan Downs. Initially, when they went up there, the wrong cats was there. They like, no. Go get us these type of guys. And whoever was the representative for the Jordan Downs, they went straight to the Jordan Downs and they grabbed the guys that were more in line, that had the reputations that were equal to the reputations of Sniper, Serpo, Red Rooster, and the dudes from Bounty Hunters. And that right there is what laid the foundation to the peace treaties. A little while afterwards, Tony Bogart came on and he became the face of the peace treaties. But the peace treaty, the conversations that led to the peace treaty was conducted by Dwayne Sniper Home, rest in peace, Red Rooster from the PJs, rest in peace to the big homie Serpo from the PJs, and a couple of dudes from the out of the Nickersons, and the brothers from out the Jordan Downs. I don't want to name their people. I just want to give credit and respect to the individuals who are the prototypes, who are the architects, who are the actual founders of what we would call the Truce of 9 Deuce, the peace treaties. You feel what I'm saying? I don't want anybody to feel insignificant, irrelevant. I don't want anybody to feel like their accomplishments and their contributions to the peace treaties is being overlooked. I like being fair. Just like I said that there'd be no peace treaty without Tony Bogart, that's true. But also, there would have not been a peace treaty if Dwayne Sniper Holmes had not gone up there to the Muslim, the Masjid, right there on Central and in between Imperial and 112. And I want to send a major shout out to Mujahid, Imam Mujahid, because he facilitated these peace talks. He the one began to get brothers to think outside the box of the endless possibilities. The things that we said was impossible, He had a message. He gave wise counsel to these brothers and let brothers know that this is tangible. This is something that we can do. So I just wanted to jump into that. Let's get back into the content, man.
Them was all factors back then. It would not be no every hood got a hood day right. Them the three that started the hood days. Every hood in America now got a hood day.
And this is what I want to say to this. Forgive my older homie. He's up in age. He didn't mean any offense by saying what he said. The big homie did a lot of time. The big homie has big cancer. The big homie just came off from doing, he just beat 2 life sentences and whatnot. So his timeline may be slightly misconstrued. He's not coming on here to create intentional misunderstandings, confusion, nor potential conflict. So I'm coming to give the correct information as it pertains to hood days. Watts, and I'm speaking on behalf of Watts right now. I'm speaking as a representative from Watts. Watts did not create the hood days. The hood days did not start with Watts. The only way that you can credit Watts with starting the hood days is that the 8-9 East Coasts claim Watts. If the 8-9 East Coasts still say they from South Central and they say they ain't from Watts because Watts allegedly stopped on 92nd, then Watts had nothing to do with starting the hood days. Number 1 says TB had Ice-T rocking the PJ Watts beanie. Most definitely. TB had a lot of people doing a lot of things because TB was a reputable individual. TB nickname was the Black Al Capone. When TB was assassinated, when TB met his untimely demise, the Federal Department of Investigation had to come and identify his body before they can release it to have a funeral service, this, that, and third. TB was a real cat. Like his brother says and attests to, TB was one of them dudes, homie. TB was the type of dude you didn't want to play with and you didn't want to find yourself on the bad side of, and that's all that it is. Don Mecca Sosa says they are Watts. Most definitely. If we gonna get into that, the 11-8 East Coast Block Crips, they're technically Watts. The 8-9 East Coasters, you can argue that they're also Watts, as well as the Q102 East Coasters, they're technically Watts, as well as the 9-7 East Coast Neighborhood Crips. Those East Coast sets is technically Watts. Arguably, it's debatable with the 8-9. With the 8-9 East Coasters, it's debatable. You feel what I'm saying? But the 11-8s, Watts. 9-7s, Watts. Q102s, Watts. Hell Thyself Gaming. Hey, love you as well, man. Let's get back into this content, man. And I'm not coming on here to create division in between my homie and myself. That's not what this is about. This is just seeing that it may have been miscommunicated, the origin of hood days. So I showed you what Bear said that they hood days go as far as back as 1987. Hoover Gumby say that it's arguable that they hood days may go back to 1985, potentially 1984. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not from Hoover, I'm not from East Coast, but I am certified and I am from Watts. I am a representative of Watts. When Tony Bogart, the brother from the Nickersons and the brothers from out the Jordan Downs, when they came together, that was 1992. So hood days was in full effect, and hood days was already cracking, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 5 years prior to individuals in Watts coming together. 8-9 and Mona, GS. 8-9 and Mona, GS have Watts tatted. 8-9 and Mona, GS have Watts tatted. What you saying, Edie? Young Chief said they are Watts. Most definitely, yeah. It's a few East Coast sets that's Watts. I mean, they'll deny it, but it's all good. I'm not here to keep or start no confusion or conflict. Don Mecca Sosa says, Watts homie Quan, daddy 8-9 East Coast. They original G's push Watts and also original Mono Parks. Let me highlight this. The Mono Parks is debatable. I feel like that's arguable. Well, I mean, shit, a portion of them is in Watts. You got the 117th Street, which is the 7th Street Watts Crips. They in Watts. Then when you go down 117th Street across, the shopping plaza, now you in Home Street Watts Crip Hood. And they streets is 117 and 118. Right next to the home streets, you got the Carver Park Compton Crips. You feel what I'm saying? And they streets start on either 117, 118, but they push Compton. Then on the other side of the 7th Streets, which is Watts Crips, is the Mona Park Compton Crips, and they street start on like 118 and they push Compton. So maybe the portion of their hood that's 118th is actually Watts, because I believe the zip code is 90059 or 900 or 90002, something like that. So you know what I mean? It's arguable, like, you know what I mean? Maybe a portion, maybe a small portion of their hood is located in Watts, and the rest of it is considered the Willowbrook district / Compton. I know an OG had came on here and he said how the Willowbrook district flipped over to Compton is because they had their own school district. But Compton school district had bought or had absorbed their school district and turned it into Compton school district. And then that's when they did a rezoning. And when they did that rezoning, they changed the zip codes. So it's a portion of Mona Park Hood that's like a Compton zip code, and it's a portion of Mona Park Hood that's a LA County / Watts zip code. You know what I mean? Let's get to the chats and see what the folks are saying. OG Bam said Mona is Compton. That's an OG right there. Wait, no, hold on now. No, that's not true, OG. Hold on, this is what OG Bam says. OG Bam says Watts stop at Imperial. Big homie, that is not correct. That ain't true right there, big dog. I wouldn't lie to you. Watts doesn't stop at Imperial. Watts extend to 117th Street. And technically, if we're gonna be technical, everything after 117th Street is technically considered the Willowbrook district. It's a district, just like you got the Athens district, the Hyde Park district, the Watts district, but we push that like a city, so I ain't gonna put Watts in it. The Green Meadows district, it's the Willowbrook district right there. There is a portion of Mona Park that is like a Compton zip code, but their entire hood is not Compton, big homie. And it's a reach to say that Watts end on Imperial. That's not true. If you say that Watts end on Imperial, then that's technically like saying that the 7th Street Watts Crips is not Watts, and that the 11-8 Home Street Watts Crips is not Watts. I strongly disagree with you on that one. Before they put the 105 freeway right there, that was Watts. So once they put the freeway right there, they just dropped it and it's not Watts no more. I don't think it worked like that. If you research the zip code, if it's 90059, that's Watts. Over there on 117th Street for sure. Man, shout out to my 7th Street partners. 7th Street Hood zip code is 90059. So that dispels the narrative that you just gave to us that anything on the southern side of the 105 freeway is it is in Watts. Scrap Blue, you can't say that, Heedy, because if the freeway separates Watts from Compton or Watts from the Willowbrook district, then basically you're saying that the homies from 11-8 Home Street and the homies from 117th Street, 7th Street Watts Crip, you're technically saying that they're not Watts, correct? Is that safe to say? Let's have a discussion about it. Hold on. Matter of fact, let's do it like this. Because the world would like to know. Hold on, OG Bam, cuz. Hey, that's my nigga, man. 2 C's, 1 Watts, cuz on Crip. Hey, OG Bam say, hold on. I'm gonna tell y'all what he say on PJ. OG Bam say Carver zip code is 90059. Big homie, that's Watts. That's Watts. So, like I say, a portion of Mona Park Hood can be considered Watts. A portion of Carver Park Hood can be considered Watts, but the mass majority of their geographical location and landmass may be in Compton / the Willowbrook district. I feel like we can agree to disagree on that. You feel me? Number one. Oh, we got OG Bam on PJ. Hold on. Big homie, what's up, cuz?
Hey, what's up with you, Bobby? Yeah, I ain't got long because I'm doing the show with Melly Mel at 5.
All
But
good.
I'm not to correct nobody, miscorrect nobody. I mean, to mislead nobody.
Yes, sir.
Listen to me. When I first started banging, it wasn't even no 7th Street watch. We considered that
Right.
Mona. We considered that Mona, right? Because the McGowan's lived on 117th and Willowbrook on the corner.
That's
We
true. That's
considered
right.
that Mona. Watch this. When they said the Willowbrook district came because they start mapping. The part of Front Hood I was born and raised in is the Willowbrook district.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? I live in the Willowbrook district. What it is you look, you got maps. Watts officially started 92nd. Where Barnum 92nd and Compton Avenue is where Watts started at. You understand? Once you come near, when you get to Imperial, we always consider, remember back in the day on it was Texaco and the Shell's gas station on Imperial and Wilmington back in the day. We considered that Watts. Once you came over, wasn't even no Home Street. I used to be on Home Street with Todd. My big homie Glue Baby lived at the dead end on Home Street, the big house. We consider parts of that Monas or Carvers because the player dudes hung there. That's what they served at. It was like the Ace High. Like y'all liquor store, it used to be a hamburger stand on 117th and Wilmington. So that's where they served. When I come home, because Moon them is my in-laws. My nephew.
Damn. Cuz was kicking some real history, cuz on Crip. I hope he come back, cuz he was kicking some real shit. Oh, we lost him, cuz. Hey, I hope he come back. Oh, he back. He back on PJ. Hold on.
Hey, sorry about that, Bobby. Sorry about that. But anyway, today, yeah, we considered because of mapping, like what you said with Q102, that in 97, that's Watts. Watts,
Right.
once you cross Avalon, you no longer in Watts.
Right.
Everything on Avalon coming to us, to Alameda, that's Watts.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? South Central, ain't no such thing as a South Central. They came up during the uprising. They do their fact checking on that dead city. And if you go by the mapping of South Central, it's the bottoms. It's the east side. It's the
Right.
east
Right.
side only, the bottoms, which they
Right.
call the low bottoms. We all get things misconstrued. Like, listen what I'm telling you. Jimmy Village ain't Compton. That's LA.
Damn.
Right? Now, if I go by the map, listen to what I'm saying, Bobby. Yeah, listen to your boy. Front Hood is the west side. But if we go by the LA map, Front Hood is the east side.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Mona is
Right.
the east. Reason Mona, that's an LA area code. I lived on 119th. My uncle owned the house on 119th next to Bev and Lean them.
Right. Oh, cuz. Man, he be giving us some heavy shit, man. Then his shit start tripping like, hey, P.I., I got you. Damn, I don't know what happened, cuz. This shit tripping. Yo, what's the deal?
You on mute, Edie? I can't even hear you.
Nah, I ain't on mute. Hell no, I ain't on mute. Can you hear me? I ain't on mute.
Yeah, I can't
P.I.,
hear
can you
shit.
hear me?
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, I can't hear you. I think you must went mute or something. But
Nah,
what
I
I was
ain't
talking
muted.
about when dealing with no map or nothing like that, that shit debatable. A lot of shit over time been redistricted. They've been changing a lot of names and shit. South LA to, you know what I'm saying, South Central and all that. But I was actually locked up with some OG niggas from 89 East Coast who had watch static, and a nigga from Mona Park that had watch static. So
Right.
they'd tell you out they mouth they was Watts before. Even if you look
Right.
at Watts Homie Quan, his daddy out the 89. He
Right.
Watts Homie throwing up Watts in all the pictures
Right.
he posts
Right.
on his Instagram. You get what I'm saying? So that's
Right.
what I was talking about though. I wasn't talking about no map and no shit that don't been changed and all that. But that's all I
Major.
wanted to say.
All right, I got you, Edie. We got you, big homie.
Hey, but what I'm saying is, see, we allowed other people to map us. See, when they came with Magic Johnson Park, that's when they came with the Willowbrook shit. You understand what
Right.
I'm saying? That's when, so a lot of us feed into that. Oh, man, I live in the Willowbrook district. Watch this, homie. Back in the day when the parole officer was on Bullets, I couldn't go to the parole office on Bullets because I lived in the Willowbrook district. My parole officer was on 147 in Crenshaw. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, because that's where the Willowbrook people and the Nutty Blocks went to. It's a difference. But I'm gonna say this, and it's based on how me and your get down is and how and our concepts of life.
Yes, sir.
Fuck where we live at, we all black. But why can't we just say we from the city and just get along? So we ain't gonna fall in the stereotype of separating ourselves. And I salute this check, George, my boy. I didn't even know he was talking like that. Yeah, you got to get me in contact with George. First generation of Richard Moulton and Bro Carter, them dudes raised me. You understand what I'm saying? They but we got to get in the concept. It ain't about where we from no more. It ain't about who started a hood day. It's about who started the solution day. Who want to solve the problem. Let's have peace. You understand what I'm saying? That's why I love your platform. That's why I can't allow nobody to come on my chat and say ill things about you. You're going to defend me and my presence.
Likewise.
You know what I'm saying? But that's other thing. But we're going to do something together. If I send you something on Chime, don't chit that. Just send the number to me.
I got
you. Feel what I'm saying, Bobby A? Or do you want me to get that big boom, get the number, but do this other thing?
Yeah, give it to the
but
big
we will
homie,
do
man.
something together.
Yeah, give it to the
All right,
big
I got
homie.
you,
And I'm
loved
gonna
one.
hit him.
I
I'm
love
gonna
you
hit him.
too.
All right. I love you too, Hitty. Much love.
I love you. All right.
All right, love you. Man, hey, that's my partner right there, man. He always bringing that heat, man. He always bringing that realness, man. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, man, shout out to OG Bam, man, on the Renting News. Hey, look, but say, man, hey, man, I feel like I corrected that misinformation that my homie unintentionally put out there. You feel what I'm saying? Watts did not start the hood days, so on and so forth. It's another part of the video that we just gonna touch on real quick because they also hit me about this as well. Hold on, let me see where he says that. Hold on. Okay, got it. So we're gonna go to the other video right here. Let me just share this. Man, shout out to OG Bam, man. Shout out to Don Mecca as well. Okay, so the interviewer put the information out there that during the 1992 uprising or revolt, civil unrest is what they call it as of late, the riots, the 1992 Los Angeles riots. It's a fallacy out there that the Watts community did not participate in the civil unrest. That's not true. That's a false narrative, and we're going to dispel that false narrative right now. Around the same time that the A-Trade gangsters was taking off and getting cracking in Los Angeles, members from the Watts community, the 4 housing projects, was getting cracking as well. Watts members, let's just get into it.
Like Jordan Downs is an Imperial Courts is a niggas. I mean, everyone's going to each hood, and it was like a 2-week celebration. The whole time while LA is rioting, Watts is partying. Like Jordan Downs is an Imperial Courts is a niggas. I mean, everyone's
That's not true, but we're gonna get into that.
Going to each hood, and it was like a 2-week celebration, and everyone's rioting and looting. Watts ain't even thinking about looting.
That's a lie. That's a motherfucking lie. I won't say names. I won't go into too many details, but if you from Watts, you know how motherfuckers was getting down to Watts. I got a few of my big homies that's from my section that's on here that can concur, that can attest to what I'm saying is actually true. In Watts, it went up. But Watts cats wasn't beating on people. They wasn't flipping over cars and all that. They were strategically hitting certain places and getting jury and getting safes. That's what cats from Watts was doing. See, what a lot of people don't know is the big homie Serpo, rest in peace. He had a white truck. When it kicked off, the big homie Serpo took that white truck, shot to the Jordan Downs, told the young Gray Streets, come on, cuz. Come on, cuz. We about to fuck shit up. Come on. The young Gray Street dudes jumped in the truck with the big homie. And they went doing, you know what I mean, doing things with the big homies. I won't get into certain people names and all this and all that, but I can speak upon the big homie Serpo because, you know, he's rest in peace. But the PJs and the Gray Streets rioted together. Then after that, that's when the partying and all that shit came in, because at the time that all this was going on, you had the Rodney King. The situation all stemmed because of Latasha Harley and Rodney King. The verdict was not guilty for the individuals that had did that to Rodney King. And motherfuckers, excuse my language. Individuals said, no, that ain't right. It's unjust. We about to jack up the city. And they jacked up the city. Around the same time as that was going on, you had the Henry Pico, forgive me, I believe it's the Henry Pico Justice Coalition that was trying to hold the LAPD members accountable for coming to the Imperial Coast housing projects and assassinating Tiny Loke. Rest in peace to Tiny Loke. Henry Pico, two females named Kathy and Lacey, they had unalived the homie. It was an unjustifiable homicide. You feel what I'm saying? So the PJs, as I have told you before, was the first hood to ever, as a hood, not as no protesters and all this type of stuff. The PJs was the first hood to go to a police station and put on a demonstration and was burn it up, burn it down, like the Black Panthers demand answers. The PJs did that. So as all this is going on, it was the perfect combination. It was the perfect time for the PJs, the Bounty Hunters, and the Gray Streets to come together, because Snipe, the brother from out the Nickersons, Big Ellie, Daoud Sherrills, they was already having talks about how can we create a peace treaty? How can we create and bring peace and introduce peace to a war-torn community? So it was just like perfect timing. But to say that Watts did not participate in the civil unrest of 1992, that's misleading, it's fallacious, and it's a fallacy. But let's get back into the content.
Y'all was literally partying for 2 weeks straight while LA was rioting. Can you explain that situation?
Because the reason why we was partying like that, because after O.J. Simpson got found not guilty.
Yeah.
After the Rodney King meeting, we got.
I just want to say this. I just want to correct this, and I want y'all to know, the homie is a good dude. The homie is up in age, so his time frame, his timeline is a little distorted. So don't say, oh, he's lying and this, that, and third. No, that's not what the case is. The homie has the best of intentions. 1992, that was Rodney King. I believe 94, maybe 95, that was O.J. Simpson. So these are two separate events. You know what I mean? They didn't transpire around the same time. These was years apart. But what the homie is talking about is the police who cruelly and inhumanely beat Rodney King, been found not guilty in the city of Los Angeles, saying, okay, that's what y'all want to do? Hold my beer. And they got cracking. Homie Serpo, as I told you, he got the truck. He shot to the Jordan Downs. He got some young Grape Streets. And they got some more of the homies from the PJs. And they just went everywhere doing everything. You understand what I'm saying? So when individuals seen that it was cool like that, they was like, man, we went riding with the PJs. Never. Y'all was riding with the PJs. Yeah. And it spread through their projects. And the homies like, man, we was with the Great Streets doing this and doing that. Man, we was having fun and whoopty whoop and all that. And niggas like, what? I was with the whoopty whoops and all this and all that. And it was like, yeah, man, we did. And then a lot of dudes who were anti the conversation, who was anti the possibility of a peace treaty, that right there won a lot of dudes over. That the PJs and the Gray Streets had rolled out and did, you know, some rioting with each other and all this and all that. Some dudes was more willing to give ear to the possibility of a peace treaty, and long thereafter, it happened. It happened like April the 21st, April the 25th, something like that. But let's get back into the content.
The victory.
Yeah.
Everybody was like, yeah, nigga, we everybody was like, yeah, OJ, yeah, everybody does it. It was like, man, I don't even know what you could describe it with. When OJ beat that, man, it was like Jubilee in the streets.
Yeah.
Everybody was so, like, yeah, I mean, it was like the Raiders winning the Super Bowl or the Dodgers winning the World Series.
Yeah.
Everybody in LA came together. Everybody was quiet.
Yeah. Yeah. It was.
There we were. Well, yeah, OJ got off. I was in jail with OJ. I was in jail with Rodney King when he got beat up. See, my brother Tony ain't never been to prison.
Okay.
I made
The OJ verdict was 1995. The situation that set the city on fire was in 1992. So that those incidents is 3 years apart. So forgive the homie, you feel what I'm saying? He's not trying to come on here and create false narratives or anything like that. The big homie, he just told you he been in and out of prison. The homie didn't beat stage 4 cancer. He just beat double life. The big homie has been through his share of trials and tribulations. So therefore, his timeline, his time frame, and being that he's an older gentleman, it's a little convoluted. It's a little mixed up, but don't blame it on his heart, blame it on his mind. You feel what I'm saying? The big homie is getting older, but let's get back into the content.
sure that now you don't want to be like me. You got to be better than me.
Yeah.
He never went to prison, never seen inside, ain't never been on nobody's yard.
Wow.
Turns out you should never.
So there it is there. A lot of misconceptions, a lot of unintentional misinformation that has been presented to the internet. I hope that we have provided clarity in regards to those situations and those statements that was made. 11.8 BC, Crazo Do says on EC8, know some Watts N-words that was getting cracking on my people from GST. He said I was young. I was a young N-word, and my folks was pulling up to the house with all type of stuff. Oh yeah, most definitely, man. Listen, homie. When I tell y'all, outside of the A-Trade dudes getting cracking on the west side, it cracked off in Watts. The Watts got a Watts is what initiated the riots on the east side. We got a history for doing it. 1965. We ain't taking that SHIT. We are taught to survive. We are trained to succeed. You feel what I'm saying? Around the same time that the A-Trade's getting cracking on the west side, they set it off on the west side. The Watts cast set it off on the east side, and that's just it was what it was. And it wasn't just the PJs, it was the PJs, the Bounty Hunters, the Great Streets, and it spread like a wildfire. Everybody just started getting cracking. I remember being a kid, homie, watching it play out like, whoa. I said, Grandma, I'm about to go to the pink store. She said, man, what? I'm seeing everybody running. Man, I'm like, man, I need parts of this. But unfortunately, man, my grandma and my auntie, they weren't playing that SHIT. No. So I ain't indulge. You feel me? I ain't gonna be like some of them cats that come on here and be corn popping like, oh yeah, man, I Willie Whoop and all this. And nah, I ain't get the opportunity to, man. I sure enough wanted to, man. You seeing people run up out of there with this, that, and third. Then you seeing people, pull up in the projects with big screens falling off of the back of the truck. But he got like 4 of them, 5 of them on the back of the truck. You seeing people pulling up in trucks with remember the big entertainment centers and couches and all this and all that. Man, listen, homie. I ain't gonna say the person ain't. One dude pulled up, popped the trunk, man. They taking 2 safes out of the trunk into his apartment. 2 safes. Like, man, this like some movie stuff. Like, it's crazy. I want to indulge. I want to be a part of it. But I also remember when the fun came to an end or a cessation. I remember when everything had abruptly stopped when they had allowed the marshal. No, excuse me. When they had allowed or deployed the National Guards, and they had them long M16s and riding in them camouflage trucks and all that. Like, man, this is crazy. My family talking about the National Guards is this. Everybody was afraid when the National Guards came, so it kind of had me like afraid, like what's going to happen? Like, what's happening next? Like how this gonna go? Is they gonna start unaliving people? Like is they gonna get out and like I ain't know what to expect, but everything that people were saying about the National Guard that was spoken from a standpoint of fear. That's my family. I don't know about anybody else's family. I could just talk about mine. The homie Don Mecca Soso says he meant Rodney King verdict. I don't know. He said that. I think he was intentional with his words because he said O.J. Simpson verdict. Then he even said that he was in jail with O.J. Simpson and Rodney King. You feel what I'm saying? So he's making it seem as if both of those co-occurred, like if they happened within close proximity to one another, but it was kind of spaced out about 3 years. But I've been on here for 59 minutes and 56 seconds. We're gonna go to an hour, man, and I'm gonna get up off this thing, man. I appreciate everybody who supports the platform time after time. Anasai, what's the deal, man? Much love and respect. Auntie, what's the deal? Much love and respect to you as well. D-Lo from East Shop. Bunnyana. Man, shout out to my Bunnyana player partners, man. Shout out to my player partners from 1180 East Coast. Shout out to my player partners over there in Hacienda Village, man. Much love and respect, man. I seen mine. MJ Park was called Willowbrook Park in the 80s. Damn, I ain't even know that. The map says Will Roger Park ain't Watts. Well, we know that's a lie. Shorty McGriff says OG Bam kicking that raw shit. Yeah, we got to get him back on here, man, on the reels. I've been waiting to run some content with OG Bam. Mobile gas station was on Imperial in Wilmington. Laurel Garcia says, no, I was saying 11-8 is the border. I can run with that. I can agree with that. The freeway wasn't always right there, most definitely. Number one says 117th Street is the border south. You may got both of y'all got some excellent points, but say, man, hey, man, that's your player partner, man. That's my time. I may jump back in here a little bit later on, man. I gotta go do my parental duties and all this and all that. I appreciate y'all for macking in on your player partner. Two black, too strong. We all we need, we all we got. What else? Let's live in peace before we be forced to rest in it. And that's my time, man. Y'all step and be blessed. God bless y'all. I love y'all, man. I'm gone.